Okay, so when it comes down to things, originally I was going to talk about Final Fantasy 16 as a whole and talk about my biggest problems about Final Fantasy 16 and why I don't necessarily like certain things. But honestly, I don't necessarily want to just talk about all that stuff. Instead, there's going to be one big problem that I want to talk about, and one big problem that we kind of already talked about before, which is the female characters and how they're done in the West and stuff like that. But I want to honestly kind of give you that recording, or at least what I said in that recording. So it's going to be sounding a bit weird when you jump to it, but still nonetheless, it is what it is, and that's what my real thoughts were. Because I think 16 had some good moments, but overall wasn't necessarily what I was hoping it was, right? Also, some note things that I did say in the beginning that I really want to bring up here. I don't necessarily like Yoshi P's statement about RPGs and JRPGs should be the same thing. No, they should be different, because RPGs are kind of trash and westernized, and JRPGs are really damn good and just know what they want to be. And hell, not even just JRPGs, but other countries with their RPGs are really damn good, like even like China and Genshin and stuff like that, right? They're really damn good, and they should just stay in their own position of where they are instead of trying to shift over to the West. So absolutely not. I do not agree with Yoshi P's statement at all. And also, I did say that I believe that Final Fantasy 16 is like a boss fight fest and nothing really else, and the story wasn't necessarily the best I thought it was going to be. Like, there's some characters I like Sid, but other characters I was not attached to. Like, I didn't feel that same attachment like I did with Final Fantasy 15, if I'm being honest with you. And also, is the story like a damn book, or is it like, you know, an actual story? What the hell is it? Like, I feel like you're just kind of wasting your time by telling me it's a story book at the end of the day. And well, yes, you could say that they're all fictional characters, but I would like to know that my time was worth something instead of just being kind of like, yeah, it's a dream or it's a book or whatever. So I feel like that's kind of trash. But anyway, that's essentially what I have. So yeah, I'm gonna just let the rest of the recording of what I said previously play. And when it comes down to things, also don't forget, again, your merch is on sale for $5. Take that off too, you know. So go buy you some merch from the channel if you want some of that too. You'll be supporting your boy. And also the sale kind of ends next Wednesday, so you know, buy your shit. But when it comes down to things, that's all I have to say for this one. So let's just continue with the rest of the recording. Jill is by far the biggest complaint I have about this game. Now, I'm pretty sure, you know, let's just be completely honest with ourselves. Jill is okay, right? She looks okay design-wise. I don't think anybody necessarily has too much of a problem with what Jill looks like, honestly. Because, you know, she is conservative, but at the same time, if Jill said, let me give your ass a lap dance, I'm pretty sure a majority of people would accept that damn lap dance and pretty much do the same damn thing that she did on that damn beach with Clive. We already know. But as a character, it felt like they were trying to do the Western thing. And the reason why I keep bringing up Western stuff so much in this damn thing is because they focused a lot of that shit into the Western side of the game, and the English side had priority of mouth movement in this game, which is something that a lot of Japanese games don't do. But with Jill, it just seems like they wanted to go super hard on the woke side of it, but then they kind of stopped at the end of everything, right? It seemed like they wanted to go hard, but they didn't, and something was preventing her from actually being like the typical strong woman, you know, righteous character, don't need no man, independent type of thing. But I feel like there was something that was trying to grab her back into reality of, yo, you need people around you. It's okay if you're gonna be weak sometimes, right? And we said this before, but a lot of people take weakness as in, you know, not necessarily being able to do things for yourself and, you know, failing a lot of times as like being weak. But that's where you try to grow to be your strongest, honestly. You know, just because you fail one time doesn't necessarily mean that it's all raps, you suck, and all that type of stuff. You just get back up and then you try again. And that's perfectly fine. But a lot of times when it comes to Western female characters, they don't necessarily believe that. They like, oh, we can't afford to fail, so we'll move the plot for them so they can win, or we're just in the right automatically for some reason. And, you know, looking at Jill's whole thing, Jill was trying to be independent and strong and stuff like that, but came off as very weak. She got kidnapped like 3 different effing times, you know, and even when she had her whole own mission, it just felt like a one and done. It felt like they, was trying to say something in that mission, but they didn't necessarily get out the full-blown message, honestly. Here's the whole thing when it comes to, that mission in particular. I do know that they had to tone something down on the English side for some reason, even though the JP side is still fine, but they toned down where, she was coming from with her problem with that place of where she was held captive at. What was going on? What was her problem, But they never really tell you outright what the problem is, even though the Japanese side of the game does, right?
私はこれまであなたに従い戦ってきた。すべては私と同じようにさらわれてきた娘たちを守るため。でもあなたは何をした？私の目の前で彼女たちを手ごめにして殺した。
ゲスがエーテルに毒された魂は清められねばならん。あれはジョーか、魂の救済。そうとも。すべてはクリスタルの導きなのだ。
For years I followed your orders, fought your wars, all to protect the children you took, just as you took me. And what did you do in return? You put them in chains and you slit their throats!
Fiend. Their souls were sullied with a stain of ether. I merely cleansed them of their corruption. A penance paid, just as the Holy Mother wills it!
And when it comes down to things, essentially the translations and the localizations is the reason for this cause. Because I was just thinking, oh, did they talk shit about Jill? Did they just maybe, beat her ass a little bit? Okay, yeah, I can kind of understand that. That does suck. You might want to get your get back, honestly. I had no idea it was about sexual abuse and things of that nature. How would I know if you dumbed down the, dialogue of what Jill is trying to say? Yeah, you probably well, there's some type of context clues that you probably could use. Yes, but it was very well hidden, and I didn't necessarily know it, honestly, because she didn't say a damn thing. How am I supposed to know what you need if you do not say a damn word? That's like trying to do a guessing game, and when it comes to things, I shouldn't have to guess what happened to her in that place, honestly. Now, I don't necessarily know exactly if it's her being used or some people that she saw getting used and stuff like that in that shape and form, but the game on the English side does not tell you. The Japanese side has no problem telling you that it was some sexual harassment going on, sexual abuse going on towards some damn body, and that she was, involved in, or she saw, or something like that, right? That's only what they tell you in the JP side, because they're not sensitive and not, scared to say what it is. But when it comes to the English side, you had all kinds of, misdirection and not necessarily know what the hell was going on and things of that nature. And it just was off-putting. It was just off-putting because I'm like, I feel like if you had a female captive, if you were really evil, I wouldn't just beat their ass. I would probably do something else to get some of their goods, right? But you didn't get that from the English side. You just said, oh, I gotta reclaim something of myself, honestly. And that's essentially all Jill says. You took something from me. What the hell did they took? Did they take a chance away from you to go to an ice cream party? And then everybody else in the whole, damn island or whatever said, yeah, let's go to the damn ice cream party, but leave Jill's bitch ass because she's a dominant? Damn, were you not offered ice cream? How was anybody supposed to know you about to get abuse off this hoe, right? So, again, this is the problem with localization a lot of times when it comes to Japanese to English, honestly. Or, well, really, yeah. Yeah, actually, I said that right. It's just, they keep effing it up and they keep trying to be like, oh, well, this is what Jill went through. But how do we know? How do you supposed to put that shit together, honestly? right? I mean, if you spelled it out better instead of saying I need to reclaim myself or you took something from me, how the hell was I supposed to know, right? That's not my damn fault. That's not the player's fault for not necessarily understanding. That was on the translators, the localization. And as you know, if you're an American, you know localizations never tell you what is the truth or never give you an accurate translation of what is said on the JP side, because they hate Japanese people for some damn reason. I don't know why, but they just often do. But overall, with Jill's character, she just seemed like someone that's like, oh, I can do things by myself, or I can be a righteous superhero or something like that, but still at the end of all things doesn't necessarily fulfill even on that. It just feels like Jill is like the type of character that says they can do things, but honestly just doesn't do it, or can't necessarily pull it off for some reason. And it just feels a bit strange. Like, again, you can definitely see the westernness that they try to put into Jill, but they never fully pulled the trigger, and then when they did, it just didn't come off right. And that's what you get when you have Western people helping out and writing your shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But you know a character that is literally like this? Someone that is righteous? Well, I wouldn't say righteous, but more so strong and actually can be independent. And it's not because they're a woman, but really about their character. It's Lightning. Lightning literally is one of the better written, well, I wouldn't say written, but better like female characters that can do shit on their own. And it's not because I'm a woman and I have powers and stuff like that. It's because Lightning was in the damn military. She can box. She can do things. She has her own powers that she can, you know, be able to use. And that's perfectly fine because Lightning is a savage. She can whoop ass. But Jill, on the other hand, is someone that would struggle against effing Lightning, honestly. It would take a long time for, you know, Jill to honestly be able to beat her ass because Lightning is just that damn good. And it didn't have to take her to be, you know, trying to say that she's strong or think that she can be independent and righteous and stuff. When Lightning, honestly, I would argue and say Lightning is really not that damn righteous, honestly. But I would say that she definitely is a strong female character, possibly the only strong female character that's this damn good, honestly, right? And to be honest, that's probably like a reason why Lightning is remembered to be such a good character, because she can do shit. She can, you know, be able to fight people on her own terms, and not because the story kind of, you know, makes her do it or makes her get power-ups and stuff like that. But it's because she can just do it because that's her character, not because plot has to move or anything like that. But Lightning can throw absolute hands. Original Final Fantasy VII Tifa was also really damn good because with her, she wasn't necessarily like, you know, completely helpless or anything like that, or because she's a woman she needs help or something like that. She can fight because it's a part of her character. You know, it's not necessarily the fact that, oh, she's a strong woman, which probably is going to be the case what they're going to try to do in Final Fantasy VII continuing, but it's not the fact she's not strong because she's a woman, she's righteous, and, you know, she's just the type of person that needs the plot to move along for her. She's good and she's strong because she can do things, and that's her character, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be dragged out or anything in some weird old fashion or anything like that. The reason why, you know, in Final Fantasy X2 they can throw hands with, you know, the Gold Wings, they can throw a little bit of hands because they're good ass characters, you know, or at least they're characters that can do things because, again, that's their character, not necessarily having any type of, you know, need to have any type of righteousness or anything like that, you know. And same thing with, I'll even throw in Sarah from 13-2, right? Even Sarah can throw hands a little bit. She may not be the best at throwing hands, but she can throw a little bit of hands and be fine with it. And also 13-2 is my favorite 13 because honestly, it's just so damn good. The music is so damn good in some of these damn places, honestly. And I just like the story a lot more than, I would say, 13 a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I like 13, but I like 13-2 just a little bit more. And hell, for just a quick little minute, let's look outside of Final Fantasy and go to Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has Kairi. Kairi is by far the character that you usually see get put into damsel in distress situations. And rightfully so. First game, obviously, she couldn't do anything. Second game, she starts to kind of learn that, oh yeah, I can actually throw hands with a Keyblade too. And actually take out a few little Heartless, even though she's not necessarily that great at it. Then, when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah, she's a damsel in distress again, but remember, this is when Kairi first started to really try to fight, really try to throw hands, and still is a complete novice at this entire thing. But when it comes down to her DLC, she can throw hands, and she can have, you know, skills and abilities that she can use and stuff like that. She's hella fun to play. But the thing is, she's still not on that level like Sora and Riku. Obviously, it's the reason why she's sitting out for Quadratum for who knows how long, essentially, and is training under Aqua. Because Aqua, even though she's also like, you know, a strong kind of like character, she's not completely strong. And I hope Nomura realizes that. Honestly, I hope that they give Aqua still a bit of that, you know, I don't know if I can do this type of vibe like Riku did, because she has Dark Aqua. Dark Aqua was something that traumatized her back on the battlefield in the final, you know, area of the game. It traumatized the shit out of her, which is why she got taken up by that tornado of darkness in the first damn place. Ain't no way Aqua should be able to just, oh, snap back in reality like that just because, you know, I'm a woman and that's how that goes. Again, that's why I'm kind of hoping that Kingdom Hearts don't take that shit in that direction. Or there shouldn't be a situation where Kairi is like absolutely strong as shit, go to Quadratum, and if Sora's in trouble, just start beating the ass without any help at all. Like, there is times where Sora needs help. Don't act like you can do things on your own, Kairi. Like, let Sora help your ass out too if you need trouble, if you're in trouble and you need help, right? Those are like, and the thing is, they was weak. These ladies, well, at least Kairi was, she was incredibly weak, but she grew to be stronger, and that's the good lesson in all of it. You don't have to be all real strong, righteous, a hero, and all about being a woman and things like that, or being gay as a woman, because they love doing that shit. But the point is, you have characters like this Square, you have good characters, female characters in your inventory who is perfect the way they are. There is no absolute reason for you to suddenly start changing how your female characters is, or letting the Western influence take you like it's darkness. Darkness within darkness awaits you, Square. Like, do not let that shit take you, and it's the West that is darkness, right? Don't let that shit take you. And don't forget, even some of the weakest characters in Square's catalog can also be some of the most important characters, or given an important role. Like Xion, when she was basically, you know, about to be, you know, Sora number 2 out here and had to fight Roxas, but then she had this mega big ass armored form, not because she was a woman, not because she was, you know, gay or something like that, or whatever the hell else the West brings up. She was doing this because that's a part of her character and that's what she is. Same thing with even, hell, I would even go and say Vanille, honestly. Vanille from Final Fantasy 13. She was weak as shit, right? She didn't have like the best shit in the world, but, you know, she is what it is. And granted, I love Vanille, I absolutely do, shut your ass up. But when it comes down to things, Vanille was also tasked with, like, you know, keeping the stability with Fang to do the crystal thing. It's been a long time since I played 13. But when it comes down to things, they had to do their job, you know? Not because they were gay, not because they're a woman, but because that's what they were supposed to do as characters, right? You know, even with, like, Tifa or Yuffie, honestly, which I love me some Yuffie, but even with those characters, they didn't do the things that they do because they're a woman, or they didn't do the things they do because, you know, they're gay or something like that, or they're independent and righteous. They do the shit that they do because it's within their coding of character. Do you not understand the problem I have with Jill at this point? She is put in a position where she has to be feeling independent or think she's strong, but ends up becoming very weak as a character. And of all the problems I have with Final Fantasy 16, this is my biggest problem. You know, I have to be honest, it's Jill's character. So with all that being said, I, again, will say that Final Fantasy 16 had some really good moments and it was fun in certain areas from what I've seen, but a lot of that stuff doesn't necessarily matter when you got Western people involved, right? It's just, and this is honestly something maybe that may not necessarily need to be said, but I'll say it anyway. You don't need diversity to make a game good. You don't need gay or bi or like whatever the hell else is out there type of characters to make characters to be likable or good, right? You don't need progressivism to make shit good. You don't need self-righteous, independent female characters that claim they're female and stuff like that to make them good. We just want characters that we care about. We just want them to be a part of the story and not necessarily super focused on what they are or who they are in that sort of way, but just have them to be characters that care for the story and not just caring for themselves and taking anything that they do in for themselves and go to business for themselves. It's why people like Lightning is good. It's why people like even, Kyrie is good. Even though Aqua is also good, but I feel like Aqua is teetering on that feminist side. Hopefully they tone that down, honestly, and bring her back to kind of have a weakness in some shape and form, because she's always been strong. That's the reason why like other characters in the Final Fantasy catalog is good, but why Jill also fails, and that just is what it is when it comes to things. So that's essentially what I have for you for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials, and if you'd like to join this channel, Patreon is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.